If you guys have done preview night with me before, welcome back. If you guys are brand new to doing preview night with me and you have no idea what's happening, please drop a heart. If this is your very first time joining in on a preview night, this is a fan favorite for lives. I get asked all the time, when is preview night? When is it happening? So how preview night works, this is how I determine my TBR for each month, and it really helps me find my 5-star reads. This is the only system that I have found over the years that has really developed well into giving me 5-star reads every single month consistently. It's weird for me to have a month where I rate a book low because I normally filter them out during previews. So think of preview night like watching TV and like flicking through the channels and trying to find something to watch. You're just reading the first chapter. You're just trying to get a sense of the vibe of the book. What is the author like? What is the writing style like? Is this a character that I connect with? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the first chapter of each book behind me, and then we're going to tier rank them from best to worst. And whichever books land in my top spots, those are going to become my monthly TBR for February. I always recommend giving yourself an extra 3 books when you're creating any type of TBR. It's nice to have choices at the end of the month, because if you get to the end of the month and you've got 1 book left and you're like, ew, I don't really want to read it, it's hard to stick to, if that makes sense. So, just a quick recap for those of you who are joining us on BookTube and missed it. Locked in right now is The Charlie Method. This book is the 3rd book, Elle Kennedy, coming out the end of February, I think February 25th. This one will be coming out, so this one's locked into my TBR, so that's spot 1. Scythe and Sparrow. This is the 3rd book in the Butcher and Blackbird trilogy. This one is coming out around the 10th of February, maybe the 11th. I think we decided it was the 10th. But Scythe and Sparrow, that one is coming out, so that one's locked in spot 2. From this point forward, we have 11 spots to fill. So, Zodiac Academy. I read this one last night at the very end of our sprints once I finished Bunny, so I've already previewed Zodiac Academy 7. I gotta tell you guys, I don't foresee a reality in which Zodiac Academy is not going to land in one of those 11 spots, but we'll see what happens. For those of you who are not familiar with Zodiac Academy, it is new adult romantasy, and I highly recommend it for fans of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If you read Buffy the Vampire Slayer or watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer and you were like, yeah, that's my show, you're gonna love Zodiac Academy. If you thought Buffy was kind of lame and it wasn't really your speed, you're probably not gonna like Zodiac Academy. So take with that what you will. First book we read on preview, Magnolia Parks. If any of you guys have read Magnolia Parks, will you please let me know what you rated it? How many stars you gave this book? Is it one of your favorites? Is it something you would recommend? Did you like the humor in it? Any recommendations I would highly appreciate. Let me know what you thought of this one. This one is described as being for fans of Gossip Girl, and I have to tell you, just off the first chapter, definite Blair and Chuck vibes. Just right off the bat, which I love because they're my favorite couple of Gossip Girl. Soft DNF to this one. 5 stars, yes, with lots of exclamation parts. Oh, I love it. Love Chuck. Yeah, I do too. Maybe not season 1 Chuck, but definitely like later on in the series. This is your favorite book of all time, Em. Oh, I love it. Okay, so chapter 1, we start off really strong, really good banter right away. Loved it. Oh, that makes me so excited. I really enjoyed this one. It made me laugh. First chapter, always a good sign. A book that can like give you a little bit of emotion right off the get-go. But the banter was incredible in this one. So I do think it's going to rank pretty high. The next book I previewed was King of Greed. This is book 3 in the King series by Anna Wan. So this is a marriage in trouble trope. Have any of you guys read King of Greed? Did you guys like this one? How many stars did you guys give it? Did you DNF it? Let me know if any of you have read the King series. And if you have read all of them, where did this one like rank for you? I did not love it at all. The first chapter of this book is 4 pages. So I'm going off of 4 pages. And the 4 pages I read, I didn't like. So you're reading it right now. Do you like it? Love King of Wrath. I'm going to try to read the rest of the series. See, I didn't like King of Wrath. I gave it 3 stars. And King of Pride, I gave 3 stars. So I haven't found a book yet in the King series that I've loved. It's okay. See, I'm not getting great vibes from this one. Has anyone else read it? I love it. It's okay. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Read the first in the series and I can't even remember what it's about. That is not a good vibe. Low key, all the same and boring. Sarah, I love the Twisted series. I did too. See, I loved Twisted Games and Twisted Lies, and I keep trying to find that feeling in her books, and I feel like I just keep trying again and again and again, and I'm not finding it yet. So this one I didn't love. It was okay. Granted, I read 4 pages. I mean, we got to take it with a little grain of salt there, but this one, out of the 3 that I previewed, this one was definitely my least favorite. The last book that I previewed was Serpent and the Wings of Night. Has anyone read this book? I have a feeling quite a few of you have. It's definitely one that gets recommended to me all the time. So if you've read Serpent and the Wings of Night, I want to know, what did you rate it? Have you continued on with the series? Give me more. King of Greed, you have to read. It's so great. It's my favorite. Oh, good. I got a good review for that one. It's a strong 4. Serpent and the Wings of Night is vampire, young adult, romantasy. It's my 3 favorite things minus a fake dating trope. So, which maybe there will be one. It just wasn't in chapter 1. So, there is hope. But for Serpent and Wings of Night, it's got like my 3 favorite things in it. I love new adult, I love romantasy, and I absolutely love vampires. Hey Rebecca, how are you? I love it. You loved this and you kept up with the series. Okay. Elise, is this one that you would recommend being in a series spot? Do you feel like I'm going to love this one so much that I'm going to want to binge the series in February? Or do you feel like it's one I'd want to pace out? There's nothing I love more than vampires. I mean, honestly, have we found anything I've loved more? It's on your TBR. I love it. Carissa, that is fantastic. Okay, so you'll definitely want to finish the duology. Ooh, okay, so there's a book 1 and book 2 and then it keeps going. Then you can take a break before the next duology. I can live with the duology. This could end up taking up 2 spots. Cat, Serpent and Wings of Night is also on your TBR. What if vampires fake dated? Then I would be in Crave and I would be really happy. I love it. Book 1, book 1.5, and book 2. I love it. Hey, Mandy. Okay, so let's rank it. So first 3 books, we've got, I think we're going to do Serpent and Wings of Night number 1, Magnolia Parks 2, King of Greed 3rd. I mean, honestly, I think Zodiac's pretty well locked. locked. I don't think anything's gonna bump Zodiac, so I'm almost debating that it's locked. There really isn't a debate to be had. Okay, you guys, all 3 of these are on your TBR. I love it. That is the whole purpose of tonight. That is fantastic. Okay, next book I'm going to be doing during sprints is Scarred by Emily McIntyre. Ugh, if I can reach it. So next sprint is gonna start with this one. So we are gonna say bye to BookTube for a minute and we're gonna do our next round of sprints. Hello, friends. So during that sprint, I previewed 3 more books. So let's go through the ones that I just did the preview for. So during that sprint, I read God of Pain. This is the 2nd book in God of Malice. I liked God of Malice, so I decided to continue on with this series and do God of Pain. I gave God of Malice 4 stars. It was not like the best book ever written, but it was pretty good. Have any of you guys read God of Pain? Looks like Carissa has. She said she loved this one. Any others that have read this? If you have, what did you rate it? What were your thoughts? It's on your TBR. Okay. God of Malice was actually pretty good. I liked God of Malice last month. It had a lot of dirty talk. So if that's kind of your speed, you'll probably really, really like it. That part of it I got a little annoyed with, so I kind of bumped it down. I haven't read it yet, but I want to jump to God of Fury. Was a 4-star for me, 3 stars. Okay, good. Okay, so this one I read. Then I read, unfortunately, heaven help us, are they standalones? They are interconnected standalones. All of the God of Malice books, they are, is it the Gods series? That seems wrong. There's a name for the series. I don't have it. Do any of you guys know what the actual like series is called? Because I've just been calling it God of Malice and I know that's wrong. Is it the Legends series? Question mark? I'm not really sure. Anywho. How late do I normally stay up reading? Normally we stay up until around 11. Doesn't matter. Legacy of Gods. That's what it is, Moss Reads. Thank you. Okay, so the other book, Little Liar. I did read Little Stranger. I think I read Little Stranger in December? Question mark. Yeah. Gosh, I really want to say I read Little Stranger in December. I actually really liked it. It was 250 pages. Everything minus the spider scene, I actually really liked. And the book ended on like a massive cliffhanger, so I've been wanting to pick up book 2. But just like with Haunting Adeline, I have been told by many that the 2nd book is remarkably darker than the 1st book. And they were not wrong. I couldn't even get through the 1st chapter. I got through the first spider scene and then I got to a new scene. I didn't like the new scene. I gave up. I quit. I got through the spider scene and then I DNF'd. There is no way. My pulse was like racing. I do not like kindergartners in my dark romance. Not a fan. If you like kindergartners in your dark romance, by all means, Haunting Adeline and Little Liar might be for you. They are not for me. They are way too into the horror realm for me to want to pick them up. So not for me, but very glad to be DNFing and not reading this one. No, thank you. That is a TW for me for sure. And that's okay. Like, it's not for everybody. Go into your dark romances with a grain of salt, right? The next one that I picked up though, Strange the Dreamer. I actually got this one for free at a library sale last week, and I can't even believe that I got it for free because it was only like $20. No dollars. Has anybody read Strange the Dreamer? This is an old book, and I have heard so many good reviews. My younger sister, this is one of her favorite books that she's ever read, and I have not read it. You loved Strange the Dreamers, 5 stars. Oh, I love it. Has anyone else read this one? This is a duology, and I do have the second book. So I also have Muse of Nightmares, which is the second book in the duology. You need to read The Prison Healer. What is it about? Okay, so Strange the Dreamer, in first chapter, it's really hard to get a vibe for the book. I'll just say that. Like, it's really hard to, like, kind of understand, like, what it is. But basically, it's about, if I'm remembering it correctly, we are following 2 characters, and we kind of, like, dream hop. It's very, It's romantasy. I do know that. It's like young adult romantasy. It's really difficult to tell what this book is about off of chapter 1, if I'm being honest. Like, plot is not really given to you, but I will say it is very atmospheric. So, like, it's written in a way that I would want to pick up chapter 2. Like, I would want to keep reading it, but actually, like, what is it about? We're just kind of introducing the main character. I mean, we've got a prologue, and then we go right. It's pretty short. We're following this boy named Laszlo who used to go by a different name, and we're kind of just like setting up the world. So it kind of starts with like a little bit of world building. Like, it's telling you where we are, but not really telling you what it's about. Definitely not another bunny situation. This is one that I would want to like get to chapter 5 and then decide if I wanted to keep it or not, because it's really hard to get a vibe for it off the first chapter, if I'm being honest. But out of the 3, we also read Scarred during that one, didn't we? Yes, we did. Because we haven't done Scarred yet. This one here, I will say my favorite thing with this one, they ditched the Lion King names. I was so hesitant to go into this book because Hooked, it was like all the same names, and I was like, but do I really want to read Zazu? Do I really want Timon and Pumbaa up in here? Like, I don't know about the name thing. And thankfully, we kept the plot line, but we changed the names. So that made me like really happy. I was like, yes. I love retellings, but I don't like when they reuse the names. That is one of the reasons why I didn't want to read Touch of Darkness, because the actual characters' names are like Hades and Persephone, and it pulls me out of the story. I like when it's a new retelling. They are actual humans. Yes, Kat. They are. Twisted changed a lot of the names too. Okay, I like that. I like when we keep, they better keep Rafiki. Heather, I didn't meet him in chapter 1, but you will be the first to know. Now I gotta figure out what to do. Okay, if you have read Scarred, will you please tell me, A, how many stars you gave it, and B, let me know if this is a series that you think I should read all of the books in February, or if you think it's better to spread them out. Crossed was awful. Rafiki was my fish's name. Read all. I gave it 4 stars. Oh, I love that. 3.75. It's on your TBR. You spread it out and you're sad. Okay, well maybe we do need to do these as a series spot. 4 stars, and yes, read all the books, but you can spread them out. Love Crossed. Hooked, Scarred, and Twisted are pretty good. I've only read Twisted. Probably won't pick up another. all together. Okay, so you guys see the side stack here? This is all of these. So we've got, oh, if I can get it, there we go. Got the rest of the series, 5 stars. Read them all together, read them all in January. I'm on Hexed. Ooh, I am a predominantly new adult reader. That is my go-to genre. Now we gotta tier rank these. Ooh, this is gonna be hard. Okay. I definitely like Scarred more than King of Greed, for sure. King of Greed, I don't know if I want a marriage on the rocks trope. I wasn't like, yes, you know? So, God of Pain is a he follows her. It's a interconnected standalone, so we're just following Not for Love Month. Right? Not for Valentine's Day. We do not want a marriage on the rocks for Valentine's Day. That is not the vibe we are going for here. Oh, I borrowed all these from the LB. King of Greed is so good. Okay. It should be another chapter of Strange the Dreamer. See, I definitely think that Strange the Dreamer is going to be incredible. It's just the first chapter, not a lot happened. I love it. Let's see. God of Pain is probably going to go in the middle. And then Strange the Dreamer definitely beating out King of Greed. Your love season might be my hate love season. Oh, Rainbow Rowell is one of my favorites. I love her book, Fangirl. That is incredible. I also really liked her emails one, and I'm going to try to remember what it was called. Something about emails by Rainbow Rowell. Oh, that one was really, really good. It was like a workplace romance. Attachments, that's what it was. Thank you. I could not remember what it was called, but that one is really good. That one made me cry, but I really liked it. All right, you guys, we are going to get started on our next sprint. So grab your books, grab your snacks, make sure you stay hydrated. And the next one I'm going to be previewing is Kid, and this is the second book after Hawk, which is a dark romance I read in December and or January. I think I read it in December also. Strange the Dreamer, after the start for first chapter, just a lot of world building, hasn't really gotten to the plot yet, so it's one that I'm going to want to keep reading a few more chapters and then decide. So I'm going to get started on Kid, and we'll turn the music back on. There we go. Don't have Onyx Storm yet. It's sold out everywhere. We tried. Okay, let's start with Kid. So this is the second book after Hawk by Jessie Hall. Have any of you guys read Hawk before? It is a level 1 dark romance. Really great intro into dark romance. It has a really awesome, kind of almost like a thriller thread in it. So you have to let me know if you guys have read this one. Hawk is incredible. Abby, have you read Kid? Because that's the one that I just previewed. Hawk is like really, really good. I loved it. So this one follows a different character that was in Hawk. So this is his best friend, and this is his book and his story. And may I just say, the first chapter, we hit the spice right out the gates. You didn't like it as much as Hawk. Okay, so you liked Hawk better than this one. Got it. So kid, we're starting out at a party and we meet a girl and we really like her, and that's pretty much chapter 1. But there's a bit more spice than I can really like tell you, but I can let you know we probably start, I would say we probably start with a good 3 solid peppers for spice right out the gates on like page 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you like books that are extra spicy, you'll probably really like Kid. Hawk was hilarious. Like the first one that I read, I really liked the spice, but I also loved the banter, and I love that there was like a thriller element to it, because I really do enjoy reading thrillers as much as I'm newer into dark romance. They were definitely lighthearted, and it had a solid plot. Hawk definitely had a really good plot. So if you're new into dark romance, if you love dark romance, but not when they're like super dark, this would probably be a really great series for you to pick up. So I read Kid, I really liked it. I would say that I liked that one better than Scarred. So that's where that one's gonna fall in the tier rank. Next up, The Graham Effect. This is gonna be my reread for February. I am also going to be rereading The Dixon Rule in preparation for the Charlie Method. If you guys have not yet read The Graham Effect, this is book 1 in the off-campus series, or the Campus Diaries series. So if you guys want to catch up for The Graham Effect, then you're going to want to do The Dixon Rule, and then if you would like to read The Charlie Method, that is going to be the 3rd one in the series. I just have to say, The Dixon Rule is one of the funniest books I've ever read. I would put it in the top 5 for humor. It's arguably funnier than Butcher and Blackbird. Absolutely love Elle Kennedy. This is a different type of humor. This is a lighthearted, fun, just a really great story. We are previewing them. So we're going to preview 20 books and then tier rank them from best to worst. And then the top ones are going to fill in those spots. So for me, this reread is absolutely happening. So book 1, book 2, Charlie Method comes out February 25th, and that will be book 3. I was obsessed with Off Campus. Yes. So The Graham Effect, this is Graham and what is her first name? It starts with an H. Hannah. Graham and Hannah's daughter. So that's whose book this is. So good. I know. I loved Off Campus too. So that is these. It is Hannah, Graham and Hannah. Foxglove. Has anyone in here read Foxglove? This is book 2 to Belladonna. If you have read this book, will you please let me know what you rated it and any like quick thoughts you had on it. Was it better than Belladonna? Did you like it more? Did you like the storyline? Let me know. I absolutely love this. How did you feel about Blood of Hercules? I haven't read it yet. We are, Caitlin. Yes, we are filming right now for book 2. So anyone who misses preview night at least has something to be able to reference. Belladonna was one of my favorite books of 2024. It made my top 3. So this is the second book. Definitely picking it up. It's in your preview right now. I love it. Not so patiently waiting for my library to get Belladonna so I can start the series. Yes, Belladonna is a must read. Caitlin! It's been in my own world and I didn't realize it was my favorite day. I love it. Caitlin, do you need a recap of where we are? Did you just pop in? We're probably due for a tier rank. The last one that I made, is it so fantasy I'll be confused? No, it's young adult. It's simple to understand. Super, super easy, Brie. And then the last one I read was Pucking Sweet. This is the third book in the series. I read Pucking Wild last month and I didn't like it, but I loved Pucking Around. Pucking Around was like 6 stars. Pucking Wild was 3 stars. The reason I didn't like it, I don't like age gap romance. That was my problem. I'm not an age gap romance reader. I think if I did like an age gap romance, I would have ranked Pucking Wild a lot higher, but it just was not my favorite. This one though actually goes backwards in time, which I really like. So we're actually going prior to Pucking Around in this one. So that makes me really excited to pick up Pucking Sweet. This is going to be Poppy's story. It is an MMF romance, definitely adult. No, we're buffering. Okay, I'll wait. We doing better now? Male, male, female romance. It's a why choose. Okay, we're good now. Awesome. Okay, good. So this is a why choose adult romance. So male, male, female. Pucking Around is 3 males, 1 female. So this one we dropped a male, which is probably good because I did not like the third guy in Pucking Around. So I'm actually really okay with it just being 2 to 1. Credence or Lights Out? Lights Out. Lights Out 1000%. Right, Gage? You can answer. They can hear you.
Answer. I interrupt the video.
Lights Out is an absolute standalone. Gage loved the audiobook. Is the movie Lights Out based on this book? No, definitely not. Isn't the movie Lights Out horror?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, Lights Out, the dark romance book. You can't see it. Here, we'll slide the sticker. This one by Navessa Allen is hysterical. It's so funny. It's a level 1 dark romance. It's really cute. It's so good. So yes, Lights Out, definitely not like the movie at all. I love it. I was confused. I don't blame you. They have the same title. It's easy to get those things mixed up. Oh, what was the question on Pucking Around? Can Pucking Sweet be read as a standalone? Yes, all of these can be read as a standalone. Though I do recommend reading them in order just because I think it's more fun. But yes, they are interconnected standalones, and she will give you a brief synopsis of the other books before you start. So I think as of right now, obviously, I'm going to be rereading these. So we know that these are locked in. We know Zodiac Academy is locked in. Foxglove right now, holding the next top spot. ACOTAR is incredible. Yes. Magnolia Parks I really liked. I also have the second book in Magnolia Parks. So do you guys think I should add both? Or do you think I just need to add the one? Yes, add both? Both. Okay. It is a resounding add both. Okay. So then that takes up 2 spots. What's with the stickers? They are library books. Make sure you guys use your local library. Hurry up with Throne of Glass, Gage, so Rhea can read Crescent City. Amen. Hurry. Good job, Caitlin.
But Onyx Storm. That's all I need to say.
Yeah, Gage took a break on Tower of Dawn to read Onyx Storm. I love it. Scarred I really liked. That's in there. I think we're going to drop King of Greed. I didn't like it. So I think this one's going to get dropped. We definitely are dropping Little Liar. No spiders for me, please. Strange the Dreamer, still in the mix, I would say. All right, you guys, we are on to our next sprint. We are going to be starting with actually a book that was sent to me by the author. We are going to be starting this sprint with Death's Undoing. So this is from an indie author who joined us in our lives and ended up sending me her book. So let's see if it makes the cut for February. This is a dark romance. We need a whiteboard for the books you don't have physical. We do need a whiteboard. We do need a way to do this. I agree. We need a whiteboard for trivia night. Or for...
I do have a nice wall
for
space
preview
right
night. We need a spot. We need you to be Vanna White and turn the letters.
Ooh, that does sound like fun.
I love it. Okay. All right, I'm going to restart the timer. We'll put the music back on, and happy reading, everybody. So I started our sprint with Death's Undoing. This is a dark romance. This is a indie author who was in our lives and sent me a copy of the book. This book seems pretty on the dark side. I would say this is definitely a level 3, maybe even a level 4 for the dark romance side of things. Definitely check the TW page. The book starts out in a funeral home, so it definitely has a lot of darker elements to it, which if you are a dark romance reader, you'll probably really enjoy. This book is about a medium who works in an antique shop, and she's constantly being asked for favors by the dead. So this is kind of like her story, and definitely it starts out with, I mean, obviously off the title, Death's Undoing, there's just a lot of that kind of prevalent throughout the book. So it seems, I mean, I would be excited to read this one if I didn't need to keep February nice and light and bright. So this is one that I could actually see myself maybe picking up in March. But for February, when I'm trying to keep everything super on the lighter side, this is a dark romance that I think is really going to lean on the darker side. So while very intriguing, very good so far, I do think that this is one I'm going to push out to March. I just don't want anything too heavy in the month of February. If you guys know, family situation stuff we've got going on right now, I need to stay on the lighter side of life. So this one though, really intriguing plot. And this is by Alexis Romero. So she is here on TT. So definitely check this one out if you are a dark romance reader. Definitely good in the beginning parts. My grandfather is in hospice right now. So I'm just trying to like filter a little bit of not having so much of this heavy in my TBR right now. That doesn't mean that I don't normally read those types of things. I just don't think I want to read them in February. So that's where we're at with this one. Then I read The Wild Huntress. Now this one is one that I previewed last month, and it didn't end up making the cut because I had so much fantasy going on in January. January ended up being super fantasy heavy. Oh, thanks you guys. And there just wasn't room for it in my TBR in January. There's absolutely room for some fantasy in February. This book really reminds me of Powerless. So if you can like kind of think of like the atmosphere, the tone, the writing style of Powerless, that's definitely what we're getting in The Wild Huntress. This is a newer release book, so this one might not be on your guys' radars, but this one was actually really good. And I liked it better than Strange the Dreamer, so I'm actually gonna bump it up ahead of that one. Hey Daniela, how are you? Welcome to preview night. All right then. Oh, have any of you guys read The Wild Huntress? I didn't even ask. Has anyone read this one? Is this one that has been on your guys' TBRs? Yes. Nope, haven't read it. Hey, Jared. I totally forgot to ask. If you are a fan of Powerless, this is romantasy. This one is actually, it sounds really cool. Every 5 years, 2 kingdoms take place in a wild hunt. The best hunters can suffer the most gruesome of fates, but the person who wins the hunt is granted a magical wish. So if you win the hunt, you can ask for anything. And a bunch of people are trying to like compete in these arenas, and our two people, I believe, are competing against each other. Sounds so good. How long can you loan library books for? I can loan mine for 6 weeks, and if I request them again, I can get them for 10. So I normally have my library books for a long time, which I really like. Metal Slinger. Oh my gosh. If you read Quicksilver with me in January, will you drop a heart? Metal Slinger is like Quicksilver, but with pirates. The tone, the vibe, the banter, the writing style, the whole vibe of Metal Slinger really reminds me of Quicksilver, but there are pirates. Can you ask for more? So definitely liking Metal Slinger. Of all of the fantasy books minus Zodiac Academy that I previewed, this one's probably my favorite. It has pirates. Does it need to have more than pirates? I mean, I don't think it does. Has anybody read this one? Still need to read Quicksilver. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I love pirates. No. Oh, this one looks really good. So this one is definitely bumping up on my list. And then we have Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. Is Quicksilver a new release? It came out last year, but it hasn't been out for very long. Erin, when you go into Quicksilver, make sure you go in blind. It's so much fun to go into Quicksilver blind. It's like the best. I read it in 3 days. It was really good. So Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. This is a book that I get asked all the time if I have read it. All the time. People ask me, have you read the Devil's Night series? And I always have to say no. But now I'm going to be able to say yes. I read Penelope Douglas last month. I read Birthday Girl in December. I read Credence in January. And we are definitely reading Corrupt in the month of February. My friend Ashley, this is her book club book of the month. So I'm definitely going to be buddy reading it with her. You guys probably know Ashley from In Our Lives. So if any of you guys are wanting to get to Corrupt and you guys want to buddy read it with her, if you are not already part of her book club, send me a message and let me know, and I'll let you guys know where to go. Because Ashley's got a pretty small, not small, but she's got a smaller book club, but I love reading with her, and she comes into our lives all the time. Oh, this is off the Orange E. Hey Amber, thanks for the follow. Have any of you guys read Corrupt? I know so many of you guys have loved this book. Yes, I have my own book club. We are currently reading Onyx Storm. I love Penelope Douglas. Did I love Credence? No, but I loved Birthday Girl. I loved Birthday Girl. That book was everything. Corrupt is an amazing dark romance. Oh, I'm so excited. I love that you guys have read this one. That makes me really excited to pick it up. Is this on anyone else's TBR for February? Is it a series? I think so. I do. I do think that it is. It is now. Ellie, I love it. It is now. Yes. They're taking the City of Bones movie off Netflix. No. There are 4 books in this series. Okay, so this is going to be book 1. I love that. Rebecca Yarros recently posted. Light Lark is a book that we previewed last month, but I wasn't able to get to it. So Light Lark, this one is young adult romantasy. This is like Magic Trials. Super cool. I had way too much fantasy on my January list, so I'm really happy that I have like room to put some fantasy on February. Really liked Light Lark. This one had major like Powerless, Hunger Games, Red Queen. Oh, this had major Red Queen vibes. If you liked Red Queen, you probably really like Light Lark. Carissa gave this one 5 stars. I love it. Has anyone else read Light Lark? If so, what did you guys rate it? Oh, Carissa, I'm glad you loved it. Actually debating reading them, and I just read them the start of January. I hope to read them soon. I love it. Yeah, Light Lark is definitely Magic Trials. This is a really popular book. The cover is just gorgeous. It's like raised. It's so pretty.
Not only the cover, but you gotta show off the pages a little bit.
The page. Oh yeah, they've got like thorns in them. Isn't that cool? Definitely gave you Powerless vibes and Hunger Games vibes. That's really what I picked up in chapter 1, Carissa. 100%. Gage, is Butcher and Blackbird worth reading?
Well, that depends. Do you want to laugh so hard you can't breathe? Because I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Butcher and Blackbird, if you are over 18, is 100% worth it. But yes, you definitely need to have a great sense of humor because it is so funny. Butcher and Blackbird is hysterical. Like, you will cry laughing. It is so good. Just the TW page alone will make you want to read that book. Everyone's giving you laughing emojis. B&B is my next read, actually. I love it. We both loved it. Gage liked Leather and Lark, too. I didn't like Leather and Lark as much as B&B, but I loved B&B.
I actually thought it was a little bit better, but it was close.
It was close. I didn't either, Brie. I didn't like it as much. Putting it on hold at the library right now. Erin, if you can find that at your local library, I am proud of you because mine didn't carry B&B. And it's not on Kindle, so the only way that I got to read B&B and Leather and Lark was because they were gifted to me. And somebody gifted me Scythe and Sparrow. I believe it was Lindsay. Oh, I'm pretty sure Lindsay gifted it to me. So I'm going to have it. Jen, your library carried B&B? Oh, I'm so jealous. It wouldn't give it to me.
To be fair, I got it on audio.
You got it on Libby?
Yeah.
But not the library.
Where do you think it comes from?
No, but I mean like the physical library. Like,
no,
for me to get the physical book, I couldn't. I guess I could have got it on Libby.
No, I haven't seen a physical copy, but I did get mine through Libby.
It's available at mine, and I'm in Australia. Erin, I love it. Good night, Mila. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Joined book club. Yes. Oh, Jared, you're going to have so much fun with us. Our book club is such a vibe. Sometimes I think our comments are better than the book. Maybe not for Onyx Storm, but for Quicksilver for sure. We had some winners. You just finished Light Lark today. How many stars did you give it? Although I love when I hold up books and people are like, I just read that. That makes me so happy. 3% into Onyx Storm. I love it. We've got a lot of people working on reading it. You will not be alone. You will be in good company. I love that. What is February's book? It is Onyx Storm. Brie, we're reading it throughout the whole month of February. I'm so sorry, books that keep falling. Then we have When the Moon Hatched. This is another one that I previewed last month. And again, January was way too fantasy heavy to fit this one on there. She was not reading Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, Onyx Storm, and having room for this thing. this thing is massive. It could like take out it could take out a person. Like Rapunzel would have a fun time with this. She could definitely replace her frying pan with this book. How many pages is it? I would love to tell you. It is a petite 690 pages.
Let's be honest. 3 words. Way of Kings.
Way of Kings, that's right,
If you
Gage.
want some heavy books.
Oh, I love it. Has anybody read When the Moon Hatched? I think Gage has read this one. Have you read When the Moon Hatched?
I have.
How many stars?
I think I gave it about a 3.5 because there were some concepts that were a little slow for me, but others that were perfectly on spot.
Okay.
It was a very middle ground book for me, but I definitely will continue on with the series.
It looks bigger than an SJM book, but it's actually smaller. Yeah, but this book is just, it's a little painful at the beginning because, let's see, first of all, when it starts, you get a huge glossary. And the glossary just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And oh, wait, there's more glossary. And then you get my favorite thing in the whole wide world, said no one ever. You get the character pronunciation page.
You do need help with that.
Do we really have to talk about it?
Well, we don't have to, but...
Okay, for those of you reading Onyx Storm, this is not a spoiler. Do not panic. There is a character in Onyx Storm that the entire time I was reading it, I pronounced it Theo Fanny because that's what it looked like. It was Theo Fanny. And in my head, it was Theo Fanny Pack. I make up names in my head all the time too. So the entire book, it was Theo Fanny Pack. Like, that's what I called her. That was the right answer. And then I was talking to Gage because we're finally able to discuss certain parts of Onyx Storm. And I was like, what do you think of Theo Fanny? And he looks at me and he goes, who? And I said, Theo Fanny. I'm like, I'm definitely saying it right. And he goes, no. How do you say this name?
Theophany.
I wasn't even close. And my favorite thing, Heather sent me a message and she was like, I love this name. And I'm like, Fanny Pack? I'm like, but why? Why do you like this name? And then Gage says it and I'm like, oh, that's pretty. But in my head, it was just Fanny Pack. I was like, I don't understand where things went so awry so quickly. I say Theophany, like Stephanie, but with a lisp. I love it so much. You guys, what did they do before audiobooks? Like, how did anyone ever do book club when no one knew what the words were?
Well, not to date myself too much here, but probably the same thing we all did with music before Google. Got it wrong for 20 years.
Oh, I love it. How do authors make these names? I don't get it. I don't get it either. My poor grandma, she still cannot say Amren's name. She calls her Amber every time. She's like, how's Amber doing? I'm like, Amber who? She's like, the cat. I'm like, Amren? She goes, yeah, Amber. I'm like, oh no. Oh my God, but I'm listening to a book and then I was like, wait, I need to see this in print. What is When the Moon Hatched about? Gage, can you help us? What is When the Moon Hatched about? A brief synopsis. What's the vibe?
I would say it's very... I have a hard time explaining this.
But like, is there something you'd compare it to? Definitely dragons. 690. Very petite.
Honestly, nothing that I've read really is in the same realm.
But do you think I would like it?
I think so.
Okay. Gage says I'll like it.
It takes a little bit to get into it.
You're telling me the first 50 pages are a glossary. Of course it takes a little bit to get into.
Well, I thought it was worth it.
How would you describe it in colors? Gage and I are not book review people. Let's just be honest.
No,
That's
I'm
the
not good
fanny
at
pack
that,
to you.
If you'd
I
like
love
to
it
think
so
of a
much.
fireworks show, that's kind of how I would explain it.
Oh my gosh. Gage, if this was a food, what would it be?
Kind of chewy, I would say.
We're hitting new lows. If you like angsty, FMC, and dragons, you will love When the Moon Hatched. Very unique world building. Thank you.
See, that's a much better review than I can do.
Is it dark?
I didn't think so.
Okay, is it actiony? Are there actually dragons? Or is it like Rage of Dragons, where it pretends it's about dragons, but it's not?
Well, there's a lot of talk about dragons.
Oh, do we need to call Dr. Phil for a book summary? Is there comedic relief?
There is.
There is? Okay, cool.
You know, I like my comedy in books.
We do like comedy in books. We do. 100%. It's like a necessary ingredient. If it's not funny and there's no romance, we're not reading it. It can just like
Well, I can
move
overlook
along.
the second part, but it's got to have the humor.
Is it boring?
It's hard to get into at first.
Is
but
it like world building heavy?
Kind of.
Worse than Wheel of Time or better than Wheel of Time?
Well, there's a lot that has to be explained throughout it just to get the general premise. And by the time you get that down, you're almost through the entire book.
Beginner fantasy?
No.
Oh, there we go. This is not beginner fantasy.
Well, I would say not, just because of how much world building and detail there is to it. If you're not used to that, you're not going to make it.
Okay. Lots of world building, dragons. Is it as bad as Jade City in world building?
I would say no, but I wasn't a big fan of Jade City just because of how political it was too.
But yeah,
this I could get through.
This is the book I tried on audio, and the man was very proper old man who rolled his R's.
Yes.
What is... And then Gage goes, yes, and he's nodding so hard. What does this mean?
You know, that's one thing I actually do like about audio is the different accents and different people they throw into odd roles that just don't seem to belong.
Gage, I was scared of him, Caitlin says. I was scared of him. I love it so much. Oh my god. Now I have to like take a sneak peek at the audio. That's hysterical.
You know, this would be one of those great cases where you have to supply your own voice in your own head and just...
Is that a thing audio people do? You guys replace the voices in your head?
Well, I do.
For real?
There's something wrong with my head, so it's okay.
Wow. I'm over halfway through this book and I'm kind of just starting to understand it. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's tough. It takes a while.
This is why I like dramatized versions. Dramatized? Dramatized. Dramatized? Dramatized.
Dramatized. See, this is why you can't pronounce anything.
I swear to God I can read. I just can't say it. Both work. Okay, we're getting off topic. Here we go. All right. What are we doing with my TBR? Here we go. I actually have this set up really nicely so we can like move the slides up and down. Isn't that lovely? Okay, so first off, we know we're doing the Charlie method. We know we're doing Scythe and Sparrow. We're definitely doing Zodiac Academy. We're doing Magnolia Parks ×2, correct? We want both books. Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates. I think that's what we decided. So we are going to duplicate Magnolia. We've got 2. Yes. Okay, we want 2. King of Greed. I didn't like it. So that one's gonna go. Serpent and Wings of Night has vampires. That one's gonna stay. Scarred. Do we want this as a series? I mean, I got the whole series from the library, but do we like Scarred more than God of Malice? I'm joining you on some of these. Oh, Bree, let me know which ones. Nope. Okay. If you had to choose between God of Malice and the Ever After, which one would you pick for the series? I feel like some of you hadn't read God of Malice, so that may be kind of a hard question. Do Ever After. You got it? Okay, so Scarred is going to become a series spot. We're just going to give them some stars or something. There. Okay. Little Liar, DNF. That book was terrifying. Little Stranger, awesome. Minus the one spider scene. Little Liar, make up your own ending and just move along with your life because no. Hard pass. God of Pain is really good. Cretan is the best. I am keeping God of Pain on my TBR. It's staying. But I'm not going to read the whole series. Scythe and Sparrow and Magnolia Parks I'm joining you on. Yes. I love when you guys buddy read with me. Okay. Kid, I'm keeping. The Graham Effect, keeping. The Dixon Rule, keeping. For sure, those are going to be rereads. Is anyone going to do the Dixon Rule with me? Jen's going to do Magnolia Parks with me too. Gage, can you please try to imitate the When the Moon Hatched audio?
I would have to pull it up again. I probably would not do a very good job.
The face he made when I said that. The Dixon Rule I want to do, but I need to catch up on all. Well, we'll start with the Graham Effect. They're all on KU, Brie. We'll be fine. We'll get there. Foxglove. Oh, is anyone going to read Foxglove with me? Gage, that sounded so defeated with that question. Come on, try. 7 years.
I'm so glad I'm behind the camera.
Oh
right
my
now.
God, I'm dying. 7 years ago, but I can't roll my R's. I'm in trouble. Hakuna Matata. I can roll downstairs, but I can't roll my R's. This is not... I can't breathe. You guys are so funny. 8 years of Spanish and I still can't roll an R. We know it's late at night because I can't breathe. Okay, Pecking Sweet is staying. Has to stay. Has to stay. Don't yell at me, computer. Why are you yelling at me? I'm trying to delete the slide. Thank you. Oh man, Corrupt is staying. When the Moon Hatched, I think that's going. Is anyone going to read When the Moon Hatched with me, or can that one just go? I'm afraid of this R rolling thing. You're going to read Foxglove this year. Yes. Nope. All right. Off it goes. Oh no, you guys. We have way too many books. Oh crap. What are we going to do? You guys, we need 13. We have 19. Oh boy. Something's got to go. And it ain't going to be Zodiac Academy. Okay. Should we ditch Strange the Dreamer? Yeah, are we going to read really fast because it's the shortest month of the year? I know. We have to hear it to judge. Okay, here are the options. To remove, we could remove Strange the Dreamer. Light Lark. I don't really want to remove it, but what do we do? Kid. Maybe we do have to remove Kid. This is why we need the whiteboard. Yeah, I don't disagree with you guys. Okay, let's see. Maybe if I hold them up here, then we can kind of decide. Okay. What could go? Let's see. Okay, here are your 4 books. I'm turning it so you guys can see. We have The Wild Huntress, Strange the Dreamer, Scarred, and Light Lark. 3 of the 4 must go. And go. Light Lark is good, but it's a quick 2-day read. Kids, Scarred, and Dreamer don't feel like a love month. Light Lark for March Book Club. I like this suggestion. I like the suggestion a lot. Okay. Strange the Dreamer is big. Light Lark is good. It's a small read. This is tough. I am not dropping Foxglove. Like, not dropping this one. This one has to stay. Do you guys think Magnolia Parks needs to stay? Because I'm kind of thinking yes. This is so hard. Oh, Leslie's here. Thank heavens. Okay. This has to stay. I do want fantasy. Yes. Scarred and Light Lark. Gossip Girl is love month. I agree. Gossip Girl is love month. We're going to have to read these really fast. Maybe for March. Maybe for March. Okay. Okay. Strange the Dreamer is gone. And we'll ditch Wild Huntress, even though I don't want to. But it's okay. Okay, we're getting there. We are at 16. We need to lose 3 more. How in the world are we going to drop 3 more? Okay, maybe for Magnolia Parks we only keep 1 and not 2. We're not giving up this theme. Okay, we will drop Light Lark. What were the Kindle options? Kindle options are Corrupt, which we're buddy reading with Ashley, so I don't really want to drop it. Pucking Sweet, I just read Pucking Wild, so I'm like right in line to read that one next, so I kind of want to keep it. Kid we maybe could drop. Or God, okay, fine. We'll keep 1 dark romance. So are we keeping God of Pain or are we keeping Kid? Maybe we just need to ditch a dark romance. So 1 is the second book of God of Malice and 1 is the second book of Hawk. Keep Kid. Okay. I did like that one. And it's so small. Okay, we're going to drop God of Pain, which is painful. Oof, there it went. We have 14. We have to ditch 1 more. I know, it's so painful. I am not dropping Zodiac Academy. I will cry. Serpent in the Wings of Night. Okay, Serpent in the Wings of Night, though, is vampires. Fine. Are we ditching Serpent in the Wings of Night or Metal Slinger? Those are probably the 2 that are the closest. Are we dropping vampires or are we dropping pirates? This is so painful. What would you drop?
You're really going to ask me that?
Metal Slinger next month. Keep the Serpent of Night. Keep Serpent. Keep pirates. Drop pirates. Elise is shouting at me. Vampires are happier-ish. Yes, they are. If you're anything like me, yes, they are.
I would keep the pirates.
You guys, maybe we could do... You have to keep vampires. I know. I do. I really do. Okay, but if I drop Metal Slinger... Are we reading that in March? Because I'm kind of sad to see it go. I like pirates. Currently on the second book of which one, Leslie? I missed it. Go away, Gage. Wrong answer. Vampires are sexier than pirates, and I will die on that hill. Heck yes, I will.
Well, to be fair, they probably do smell a little
Serpent
better.
and Wings of Night. Okay, fine. For dropping Metal Slinger. Okay. Here's the list. It's official. This is my February TBR. Here we go. It is locked and loaded. Here we go. We have Charlie Method, Scythe and Sparrow, Zodiac Academy, 7, 8, 8.5, and 9. This is a series spot. Magnolia Parks, Oh, the second Magnolia part. So Daisy Hates. Serpent in the Wings of Night. Scarred is a series spot. So all of these also, if I want to keep going. Kid, which is the second book in Hawk. The Graham Effect, which is a reread in preparation for the Dixon Rule. Or, just kidding. The Dixon Rule, which is a reread for the Charlie Method. And then Foxglove, this is the second book in Belladonna. I have to read this one. I have to. I loved Belladonna. Pucking Sweet, this is the third one in the series, and I just read the last two books last month. So it'll be perfect to go into this one. And then we have Corrupt, which we are buddy reading with Ashley and anyone else who wants to join in. And that's it. That's all 13 spots. I hope that you guys had fun on preview night. Did you guys get some good book recommendations tonight? I hope that you did. I hope that you are exhausted and tired and that your TBRs are full. That is what I hope. How do we feel about Shadow and Bone? We love it, but we like Six of Crows better. Sure did. I love it. Thanks you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. We really appreciate it, each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your recommendations. They really, really help me out. I love it. Good night, everybody. I know it was a late one. Are you going to be adding these to your currently reading? Yes, yes. They will be on book club. So you guys can see I already cleared out the list yesterday. So all of these will fill in those spots. You're in Mexico the whole last week of February. I actually know our next preview night, for those of you asking, will be February 28th. It'll be a Friday, but Bree, you'll be able to hopefully catch it on BookTube. So make sure you guys are following us there as well. Erin, I do, but I keep my GR family only. So make sure that you're in book club to see what I'm currently reading. Yes, I love it. Have a great night, you guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Good night.